Hey guys, thanks for stopping by today. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about car preps, things that you need to have in your vehicle to stay alive and survive in case of a bad situation. So before we jump into it, I really just want to get started and say thank you for stopping by today. I hope we have a great show. And all of the items that I talk about in the description here, or all of the items that I talk about are going to be in the description down below. There's a link to our Amazon store where we have all of these products. So let's just kind of jump into it and talk about some things that I think you should really have in your vehicle that will keep you alive and help you to survive in a bad situation. One of the first things that I really like to keep in my vehicle is a fleece blanket and a Woobie. All right. Fleece blanket is great. You know, if you've ever been whitewater rafting, one of the first things they give you, other than a life jacket, is a fleece jacket to wear. The reason for that is the fleece does a really good job of shedding water and staying dry and keeping you warm. Even if the fleece gets wet, the water just rolls right off of it, and it helps to keep you dry internally, keeps your core dry. So I'm a huge fan of fleece blankets. And then also the Woobie. You know, the Woobie, I think, is one of the greatest inventions ever made. If you don't own a Woobie, you should have at least one. Yeah, I saw a buddy of mine came by a couple of weeks ago, and he actually had a pullover jacket made out of Woobies, and it was absolutely incredible. I'm going to have to get me one of those. That was pretty neat. But fleece jackets and Woobies, put you one of each in the car. You've got that. Now you've got something that you can stay warm. If you get stuck in a snowbank or whatever, and you're trapped in your vehicle, you've got a way to be able to stay warm inside your car. The second thing that I always recommend that people keep inside their vehicles is a raincoat and rain pants. Reason for that is you may not be able to stay in your vehicle. You have to get out. You have to walk. If it's raining, if it's snowing, whatever, even in the summertime, rain in the summertime, you can still get hypothermia. So you want to make sure that you've got good rain gear that will keep you dry, keep your core dry, and keep that water off of you, whether it's water, snow, ice, whatever. There's a lot of your raincoats that are out there. They don't breathe real well, which does a great job at keeping your body heat in and helping to keep you warm, even if you don't have a lot of extra clothes that you can put on over the top of the raincoat. Another critical item that I think that everyone should have in their vehicle are garbage bags. Put them in the door panel of your car. Put one in each of your door panels. In an emergency, you can use the raincoat. You can use the garbage bag as a raincoat. You can use it as a tarp to lay on the ground if you're having to work on your vehicle. You can use it just to throw trash away in your car. It's got 1,000,001 uses inside your vehicle. But I always keep the big industrial trash bags in the door panels of my car. And that's another great tip that's really going to help you guys out. Let's roll over here and take a look at a few of the questions and just see who's on board today. We've got Devil Dog Prepper. He says, "Hey, Robbie." David Frost, "What's up? Just started snowing here in Oregon." So this will be a good one for you, Dave. Go through, check out this stuff. Make sure you've got your cars covered and stay alive in the snow, bud. Kevin Ramsey says, "Hey, Robbie, Semper Gumby channel. If you guys aren't subscribed to Semper Gumby channel, you need to go over there and check him out. He produces some great content. Ben is an awesome dude and just a lifetime of experience in Coast Guard and law enforcement, and just a really well-rounded individual, and produces some awesome content. So make sure you check out Semper Gumby channel. And if you do, tell Ben that Robbie said hey. David Frost, "Robbie, about to buy a Woobie on eBay, $29.99. Dave, I'm telling you, it's life-changing. There's not many things in this world that I say are life-changing, but a Woobie is absolutely life-changing. You'll end up with them all over your house, on your couches. Every time you sit down to watch TV, instead of grabbing a blanket or a throw or whatever, you're going to grab that Woobie and pull it up on you. They are amazing." James Price says, "Hey, y'all from the Tennessee mountains." James, I wish I was in the Tennessee mountains. I'm stuck down here in South Carolina, but I love Tennessee. It's one of my favorite states. David Frost says, "Do you think it's a good idea to keep a designated firearm in the vehicle, and what type would you recommend?" I do. I actually keep a couple of firearms in my vehicle. I keep a handgun in my console, and then I've also got a long gun that I keep in the back of my vehicle. I've always said a handgun is just a tool to fight to get you to your rifle. If you're in a gunfight, you want the most firepower that you can possibly have, and a rifle trumps a handgun every single time in almost every situation. So I always recommend keeping a handgun in your vehicle and then a long gun in your vehicle as well. Do a good job of securing it and storing it in your vehicle where it's not easily accessible or easy to find if someone breaks in your vehicle. And, just another quick little pro tip for you. One thing that I recommend that you don't do, excuse me, got a frog in my throat. One thing that I recommend that you don't do is put stickers all over the back of your car. NRA stickers, Marine Corps stickers, Smith & Wesson, Palmetto State Armory, whatever your favorite gun brand is. Everyone likes to put stickers on their vehicle. The problem with this is when you go to a store, so you go to your local Walmart or whatever big box store to go and buy something, you go in the store, somebody's walking through the parking lot looking for a vehicle to break in. They see your vehicle with these stickers on the back of it that advertise for these different gun companies and stuff. And that's a red flag. That's the first thing they're going to look at. They're going to look at those stickers with the military, and they're going to say, hey, that vehicle right there probably has a firearm in it. I'm going to break in that one before I break in the one beside it that has, whatever other kind of sticker on it. So I don't recommend putting stickers on your vehicle that advertise the things that could potentially be in your vehicle. Stay in the gray. Don't stand out when it comes to your vehicle. You want somebody to walk past your vehicle, drive past your vehicle, and say, that vehicle, it doesn't stand out. It doesn't stand out at all. So keep those stickers off your vehicle. Put them on your safe. Put them on your, the door to your garage or whatever, but keep them off your vehicle. Steve Kinney, hello from the horse capital of the world, Ocala, Florida. I believe in a designated car weapon. Yes, absolutely. And David Frost says, my only sticker is buck fighting. I'll let you guys figure that one out. So let's jump back into some of our car preps, and then we'll just kind of go from there. The last one we were talking about was garbage bags, the big industrial trash bags. I'm a huge fan of those. You can't go wrong keeping a trash bag in your vehicle. There's always a situation where you can use that trash bag, whether it's cleaning your car out, putting it on the ground to change a spare tire, packing stuff in it. If you have to use it as a raincoat, it's there. You can use it as a little poncho. You can use it to store things in. If you do have to leave your vehicle and there's things you want to take with you that are in your vehicle that you can't fit into your get home bag, you can always put them into one of those heavy industrial trash bags to carry it with you. Another big thing that you need to keep in your vehicle is something to start a fire with, whether that's a lighter, matches, flint and steel, whatever. You need several options for starting a fire that you keep in your vehicle. Now, I keep a couple of different options in my vehicle. I'm a big fan of just the big lighters. They work well. I don't just keep one in my vehicle because invariably one is going to fail. Two is one is none, type deal. So I always keep a couple of different big lighters in my vehicle, and I change them out about every 6 months just because they do stay in the vehicle in the heat and in the cold. The temperature changes and stuff can cause them to end up leaking over time. So test them regularly, change them out every 6 months, and you'll always have a good fire starter in your vehicle. Another tool that you can keep in your vehicle that helps out a lot if for some reason you can't get your lighters to work are roadside flares. Roadside flares are a great fire starting tool in an emergency. Most of them have a self-striking tip on it to get the flare going. They burn for a long time. They produce a lot of heat, a lot of light, and it's a great way that you can start a fire if you don't have a lighter or other means to be able to start one. Hot and cold packs. Hot packs for the wintertime, cold packs for the summertime. Keep those in your vehicle. You can use the hot hands in the wintertime. I like the extra large ones that you can put down in your jacket. One of the big places to put a hot hand is under your hat on top of your head. You lose about 90% of your body heat out of your head. So if you take that hot pack, shake it up, put it under your hat, put your hat on top of your head, that heat, believe it or not, will keep you warm even with just a thin jacket on. It does a really good job of keeping the body heat inside where it belongs instead of escaping out your head. And, as long as we're talking about hats, a great hat, a beanie, anything like that that you can use that's going to keep your head warm and keep the heat inside and not let your heat escape. I'm a huge fan of hats, wear them all the time. You guys see me on the channel or out at the range or anything, 99 times out of 100, I've got a hat on. You know, I wasn't great about using sunscreen and stuff when I was younger. And, you know, now that I'm starting to get older, you know, I worry about skin cancer and things like that. So always try and wear a hat, protect my nose, you know, and keep sun off of my face anytime that I'm outdoors. So, and that's a big deal if you get stuck in a situation where you're walking. You want to definitely make sure you have a hat that's going to protect you from sunlight, from sunburn, from windburn, and even having some sunscreen in your backpack for your nose and for the tops of your ears. You can get sunburned and windburned in the wintertime as well, just as easily as the summer. So make sure you have the things in your pack that you can protect yourself with. Another biggie that a lot of people overlook for their vehicle is first aid kits and trauma kits. You definitely need to have, at the very least, a basic first aid kit. Me personally, I prefer a little more advanced trauma kit in my vehicle that I can treat multiple different injuries and wounds. You never know what kind of situation you're going to find yourself in. You never know what kind of situation you're going to drive up on going down the road and somebody needs your help. So always keep a good trauma kit in your vehicle. Learn how to use it. There's lots of guys out there that teach really, really good stop the bleed classes and trauma classes. You can check out Skinny Medic. He does also an awesome job on teaching trauma classes. So get with him, see when he's got some classes coming up, and get yourself educated when it comes to trauma and stop the bleed. It's, you know, to a lot of people, it's almost black magic, and it's really not. You know, you keep the airway open, you keep the blood on the inside, you keep the air on the inside, and you keep people alive, keep them warm. You know, it's pretty simple as far as, you know, basic emergency medicine and keeping someone alive, stabilizing limbs and stuff. So check into that and get yourself some classes on trauma. It'll really help you out a lot. Another big item to keep in your vehicle that a lot of people overlook is Fix-A-Flat. Now, Fix-A-Flat is not going to repair your tire, you know, if you get a big 4-inch gash in the side of it. But if you're driving down the road, you run over a nail, you poke a hole in your tire runs flat while you're going down the road and it's snowing, you don't want to get out and change a tire in the middle of the snow, in the middle of a snowstorm. You can plug that Fix-A-Flat can into your tire and it will plug the hole and pump your tire up enough to get you to a safer area to where you can either have the tire changed or change it yourself. I normally keep 2 cans in my vehicle because a lot of times 1 can just isn't quite enough to give you enough air. So I always keep 2 cans of it in my vehicle, and that'll get you out of any kind of quick little emergency like that, to where if you have a tire run low, run flat, you'll be able to get yourself into a good situation. So Fix-A-Flat is a great one to keep in your vehicle. Keep it in the trunk, keep it in a shady area, and that way it doesn't overheat and the can can rupture. But as long as you keep it in a cool shaded area in your vehicle, Fix-A-Flat generally does a good job. Food. Lots of us, hey, you know, I love to eat, right? Love to eat. So I always try and keep some food in my vehicle. It doesn't have to be, you know, any of the, you know, your survival foods and stuff like that. A couple of protein bars, you know, high calorie, high protein bars work really well for giving you some food, some long-term energy that you can store in your vehicle and keep it in there for 6 months or a year and don't have to worry about it going bad. And then bottled water. Bottled water is a great thing to always have in your vehicle. I always keep a case of bottled water in the back of my vehicle. You know, my get home bag has got my filter straws and everything in it for more adverse situations. But in a quick pinch, you get stuck in a snowstorm, you need something to drink. You've got to have water. So that case of water in the back of your vehicle is going to get you by until you can get out of that situation. And talking about a get home bag, that is something that everyone should have in their vehicle. There's a ton of awesome videos out there already on get home bags. My buddy Such00 over on Sensible Prepper has done a bunch of videos on get home bags and is a tremendous resource for that. So check out some of his videos on what he recommends for your get home bag. and that can get you started and get you pointed in the right direction on the things that you need to put in your get home bag. Let's check out a few questions and see what we've got going on here. Hey, lots of people on today. That's awesome. David Frost says about get back up here where I can see it. The comment on buck fighting. He said it's kid friendly. LOL. Yeah, kid friendly. Absolutely. David Frost. Every time I hit Home Depot, I buy a box of the thick mill contractor bags. They are awesome, and that's exactly where I go. Either Home Depot or Lowe's, my big box store, and I get the big box of the heavy mill contractor bags, trash bags to keep in my vehicle. And I keep them in my vehicle. I keep those in my shop. They are unbelievable for a million different things. Every time you think there's no reason I'm ever going to need a heavy mill trash bag in my vehicle, the next day you're going to find a reason for it. So trust me on that one. The heavy mill trash bags are a lifesaver. James Price says, I keep an M4, AR-15, and 9mm. I like options because I travel a lot. I agree with you 100%, James, and I'm the same way. I keep a 9mm, a few extra magazines for that, and an AR-15 with a few extra magazines for that in my vehicle as well. And, it's just, I always say safety in numbers, right? So if I've got 90 rounds for my AR, I feel a lot safer than only having 10. Kevin Ramsey, when you visit Canada with Glock and Colt stickers, be prepared for a proctologist exam. Just saying. Dave, I have not been to Canada. Canada is one country that I do want to visit, but I have not made it to Canada. But yeah, I see you guys are y'all are on the struggle bus up there with your firearms laws and stuff. That's y'all are definitely under attack up there. So I hate to see that. I hate to see one of our neighbors that are being persecuted like you guys are just for having tools to be able to defend yourself and protect yourself. And Joey says, Robbie, what are the storage options you recommend for long guns and trucks? One of the storage options, what I generally use in mine is a single gun case, like one of the little tactical bags. You can get them in different lengths, from like 36 up to 52 inches. But it's double padded on the inside. It's got some pockets on the outside that you can store extra magazines in and different accessories and things that you need. But that's normally what I recommend for a truck, especially if you've got just a folding seat that you can fold up and put the bag behind the seat. If you've got a 4-door truck, extended cab, there's a few options that you can use. That soft case is one of them that you can store behind your seat, just kind of depending on how out of sight you want to try and keep your rifle. There's I really need to do a little more research into that. There was one that I was looking at, was a overhead roof rack for your firearm that expands over the top of the roof, and then you can mount your firearm overhead, which I think is pretty cool, because 9 times out of 10, somebody looks in your vehicle, they're looking down, they're not looking up at the ceiling. So an option to be able to store it above your head, I think, is a good option as well, especially in states where you can open carry. David Frost, glow sticks, dollar store, cheap and easy. Yep, glow sticks are a good one. Always, and that's one thing that I keep in my get home bag are glow sticks. So I've always got a few of those in there. I don't necessarily use them if I'm on the side of the road, unless it's an emergency and I'm hanging them up trying to get someone's attention. But the glow sticks, because they don't put off a ton of light to be able to, if you're having to work on your vehicle or anything like that, a good flashlight is much better in that type of situation than the glow sticks. But glow sticks are a good marker if you're trying to identify something or draw someone's attention to your vehicle or yourself. Now, Joey here, he's jumping ahead. He said, also recommend a compact battery jump box. And I'm getting to that. But hey, since you mentioned it, we'll go ahead and talk about batteries. A good jump box is absolutely something you should have in your vehicle, as well as a set of jumper cables, and then also a battery bank or battery backup for your cell phone. I've got a great one listed in my Amazon store down below in the description. It's a 26,000 mAh. I think they're about $30, but it'll charge your cell phone for about 5 days straight and keep it on full charge. But it's small. It's about the size of an AR-15 magazine. But the battery backups for your cell phone to be able to charge your phone in case your battery goes dead in your vehicle and you're stuck in your vehicle for an extended period of time will still give you the ability to have communication outside of your vehicle. Another thing that a lot of people don't consider with their vehicle about keeping in it are extra socks and extra pair of shoes. A lot of times we take off, we run to the store, and we just got flip-flops or Crocs or whatever. You know, I'm a flip-flop guy. I love flip-flops, and you know, I wear them all the time, summer and winter. And a lot of times I'll jump in the vehicle, take off, run to the gas station or run to the grocery store and just have a pair of flip-flops on. Well, if something happens, I don't want to have to walk 5 or 10 miles in a pair of flip-flops. You know, the blisters that you'll get from that just in between your toes would be awful. So I always keep a good pair of hiking boots in my vehicle and a couple of extra pair of hiking socks as well. Now there's a big difference in socks. There's your everyday socks that you wear, and they'll get you by in a pinch, but everyday socks are not designed for extended periods of walking. You'll end up with blisters. So get a good pair of hiking socks, a couple of good pair of hiking socks, and keep those in your vehicle with your hiking boots. You will thank me later if you ever have to use them, because you jump on your feet, all you've got are a pair of flip-flops or even a pair of tennis shoes and, you know, just ankle socks. You take off and you have to walk 5 or 10 miles, you're going to have blisters. Those socks do not wick moisture away from your feet. Your feet are going to get wet. They're going to get sweaty. When they get wet and sweaty, the skin starts rubbing against the sock and the inside of the shoe, and you end up with nasty, nasty blisters. So great pair of socks are worth their weight in gold if you're having to walk a lot. Another thing that a lot of people don't consider keeping in their vehicle are thick mil nitrile gloves. Now, I like the either 6 mil or 8 mil nitrile gloves, and you can use these for a variety of purposes. If you have a flat, you want to change your tire on the side of the road, the nitrile gloves are going to keep your hands from getting nasty dirty. They're going to give you a better grip on your tools while you're changing your tire. If it's cold outside, the nitrile gloves are going to do a great job of keeping the heat inside the glove and not letting the steel from the tools that you're having to use wick the heat away from your body. They're also good in an emergency situation. If you're having to deal with someone that's bleeding, you've got the nitrile gloves in your vehicle for that. So a lot of options for nitrile gloves in your vehicle. They're about $15 or $20 for a box of the 6 mil or 8 mil gloves, and you can just throw it in the back of your vehicle, and then you've got it there if you need it. Another item that you really need to look at having in your vehicle is a tarp and some 550 cord. Tarps are great if you have to change a tire on the side of the road. You spread the tarp out on the ground, and then you've got something dry to lay on instead of having to lay on the ground. They're also good if you get stuck in your vehicle in a snowbank or whatever. You can string the tarp up to help keep some of the snow off of your vehicle so your vehicle remains visible. And I like the tarps that have like silver lining on it, which help to reflect heat, which can provide a little bit of heat inside your vehicle, as well as keep the snow melted off of your vehicle as well. Another item that a lot of people overlook for their vehicle, especially in the South and areas where we don't get a ton of snow, is a small shovel or an entrenching tool. If you get stuck in your vehicle, a lot of times you are your only resource and you're going to have to dig your way out. So having that small shovel in your vehicle that you can dig your vehicle out of a snowbank, clear snow out of the way. If it's raining and it's flooding and you get stuck in the mud, to be able to dig your way out of the mud, give you a place where you can put some limbs and different things down to be able to give your tires traction so you can get out of that situation. Shovels are great, and they're small. I mean, you're talking about a 10 by 12 footprint that it's going to take up, like maybe 2.5, 3 inches thick, that it's going to take up inside the trunk space of your vehicle. Small, compact, stays out of the way until you need it, and there when you do. Let's take a look at a few more questions. David Frost. Costco has a great vehicle storage modular fabric box that has like 6 compartments and a flat top that seals with Velcro. It looks like a crate, but you can empty and collapse it. David, I know exactly what you're talking about because I have one of those in one of my vehicles, and it is a very, very handy tool. One thing I did find with it, if you're taking it in and out and collapsing it and expanding it a lot, the rivets that they use to hold it together will end up breaking. So what I do with mine is it just stays open in the back of the vehicle, and I use it to store different things in. And I do like the idea that it has the cover over the top. I don't think the one that I have has a cover over it. Mine's just open. But having a cover is nice because you just fold it over and then it kind of becomes one with the back of the vehicle and is not really visible to somebody just walking by and glancing in your car. Going against the grain says, dang, I missed the live. I didn't get a notification. You have not missed it. You, sir, are here just in time. So you may not be able to catch all of it from the beginning, but I will repost the video later on my YouTube channel, and that way you can go back and watch it. So you will be able to jump in there and catch the beginning part that you've missed. Going against the grain says, since the weather has been weird, I've ordered a window breaker, seatbelt cutter in green fluorescent because it's visible underwater. We're aware of the back headrest serves as a breaker if you need it. That's absolutely right. The headrest has got steel spikes on it. If you're in a bad situation and can't find your window breaker, you can always pull that headrest off and use the headrest to break a window. Yeah, it's not as good as a window breaker because it doesn't have a very sharp point on it, those blunt rounded ends. You really have to strike a window hard to break it, but it can be done. Remember, if you're ever trapped in a vehicle in water and you have to break a window to get out, wait until the vehicle is underwater and the pressure and the water has started filling up inside the vehicle to equalize pressure. It'll make it easier to break the window. And then if you're trapped on a snowbank or on the side of the road, you're not necessarily underwater, you've got a little more time to be able to break the window. So that gives you more time to be able to find the correct tool in your vehicle to do it if you have a window breaker inside your vehicle. Another nice tool to have in your vehicle always is a ice scraper and then a snow brush. A lot of people don't think about the snow brush, but you get a heavy snow, you've got excuse me. It's just to let you guys know, it's our first false spring down here in the south, and the pollen is already really bad here. So everything's starting to turn yellow. All the flowers are blooming, and it's like 70 degrees outside today. It's ridiculous. February and it's 70 degrees already. But it's just to kind of say, hey, guess what? Spring's here. But it's really not. It'll go back in another week or two and we'll be back to having 30-degree days and frost on the windows, and it'll kill all the flowers, and then everything will die down for a little bit until it ramps back up in the middle of March. But yeah, our first false spring here in the south, so the pollen is killing my allergies today for sure. But as I was saying with the ice scraper, ice scrapers are great. Be able to clear ice and all off your window. But if you got a heavy snow overnight and you've got 6 or 8 inches of snow on your vehicle, you don't want to take an ice scraper and try and clear all that away. Your hands are going to be frozen and wet by the time you get done. So they make a really nice snow brush that you use to brush the snow off of your windows on your vehicle. You take the snow brush, clear the snow, and then you can scrape the ice off with the ice scraper. Or a lot of the snow brushes actually have a scraper on the back side of it. Pretty handy tool. Not really necessary here in the south. If it snows here, it shuts the entire state down and everyone just stays at home until it melts 2 days later. But for the rest of the country that gets snow and you're more equipped for it, the snow brush and a good ice scraper is definitely something good to keep in your vehicle. Or if you're going to be traveling out of state, maybe going somewhere where they do get a lot of snow, a snow brush and a good ice scraper is something to keep in your vehicle as well. One thing that a lot of people overlook for their vehicles, you may have one as your EDC, your flashlight that you keep in your pocket, but it's always good to have a flashlight in your vehicle. And, I really like the Olights. I've had great success with them. They've been really good lights. I keep one plugged up on a USB port in my vehicle, so it's always charged and it's there if I need it. And it stays laying in my console and hooked up like I said, to a USB port and a charger, and just stays in there charging all the time. So I've got a flashlight in my vehicle if I need it. Bob McAllister says, "Hey, Robbie, do you have any experience with the sawmill training program in Pickens?" Bob, I don't have any experience with the sawmill training program in Pickens. I am familiar with the sawmill in Lawrence. And the sawmill in Lawrence does some unbelievable training courses down there. Everything from survival, night fighting with night vision equipment, all kinds of prepping courses. They have a lot of courses there. But as far as a sawmill in Pickens, I have no idea about that one. And going against the grain, excuse me, I'm dying here, guys. I'm dying. Pollen's going to kill me. This may be my last episode. I may not make it after this one. But going against the grain sent us a super chat. I appreciate that, going against the grain. It always helps out with the channel. And he said, "Thank you for helping out. I need to send some work your way." And absolutely, absolutely. One thing I didn't mention here, guys, for those of you, maybe it's your first time here, on Wheaton Arms, also do a lot of custom gun work, as well as parts and accessories that we manufacture. So if you need any custom gun work done, RMR cuts, barrel threading, bolt handle threading, any kind of machine work, or custom work that you want to have done to your rifle, shotgun, or pistol, you can reach me at Robbie, Robbie, at WheatonArms.com, and I can help you out with any kind of custom gun work that you need. 45 Stones Handcraft says, "Yeah, pollen trying to take me out here in Florida, in the Florida Panhandle." Yeah, you understand what I'm talking about. Y'all get that early, y'all get a really early spring down there as well. So all the flowers and, you know, these godforsaken Bradford pears, those things are awful, 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 awful. They should have never been brought into this country, but they try and choke me out every year. And pollen is a terrible thing. Oh, and Bob said, yes, in Lawrence, not Pickens. Yeah, check those guys out, Bob. The sawmill does some excellent, excellent training courses all year long that cover a variety of topics, from prepping, survival, firearms skills. I think last year they even had one on processing wild game, where you could process different animals and stuff, wild deer, wild hogs, and things like that. Now, Semper Gumby Channel hit us up on a super chat too. Thank you, Semper Gumby Channel. He said, "Thanks for the shout out for my channel. Lunch is on me at Taco Casa." Oh, guys, for those of you that don't live near Greenville, South Carolina, Taco Casa is a staple here for our tacos. They've got unbelievable tacos and homemade sauces. It's been around for decades. I've been eating there since I was about as tall as my computer here in front of me. And it is just a tremendous, tremendous restaurant. Very affordable and just excellent food, excellent customer service. It's one that if you're in Greenville, I always recommend you go to Taco Casa. A couple other things with your vehicle that you definitely want to make sure you check out. And this is more on a weekly basis and not just something, you know, when you've got inclement weather or anything coming up, is your vehicle maintenance. Check the air pressure in your tires once a week. Check your oil. You know, even though you just went and had your oil changed at whatever service center or dealership, oil is something that, you know, one thing that I found out over the years, a lot of companies that change oil in your car for you, if you don't do it yourself, they don't fill the oil filter when they put it on the vehicle. And when they don't fill the oil filter, as soon as you start your vehicle, the vehicle pushes oil into the filter, and that fills up with oil. And now your engine is a half a quart to a quart low on oil as soon as you get in it. As soon as you pick it up from having it work done, you're already half a quart to a quart low. So just something to be aware of, something to check. Next time you take your vehicle to have it serviced and they change the oil in it, go out and check your oil in your vehicle before you drive off the lot and make sure that the oil is at the full level and not a quart low. because a lot of companies, they do that. They'll fill it up and put, if the car calls for 6 quarts, it's not just 6 quarts, it's 6 quarts plus filling the filter up. So when you only put 6 quarts in and you start the engine, you get a half a quart to a quart that goes into your filter, and now you're half a quart to a quart low in your engine. Checking your brake fluid, check the reservoir under your hood, pop the lid off, make sure that that's full. Check your radiator, your antifreeze, your overflow can, make sure all of those have the right amount of antifreeze in them. Make sure you check your tires. Walk around the vehicle, look over the surface of all your tires, back the vehicle up about 1.5 feet or so. That'll rotate the pad on the bottom that's on the ground where you can see it. Rotate it backwards and then look around your tires again. Make sure there's no nails in your tires. There's no screws in your tires. It's a once a week check for me. You do all of those things, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get stuck stranded on the side of the road because you ran over a nail and it's stuck in your tire. And then as you drive, it pushes it deeper and then you start getting a leak and now you've got a flat on the side of the road. So it's just a quick and easy check you can do for your vehicle, to walk around and check for things in your tires. Keep rocks out of the treads and stuff like that. And then that way, you know that when you get in your vehicle to drive, that you don't have any kind of foreign object stuck in your tire that's going to cause you to have a flat. Going against the grain says, now I'm hungry. I know, me too. I skipped lunch so far. I haven't had lunch yet today. Been pretty crazy busy, and lunch is high on my to-do list as soon as I finish up with this video. Fed Up American says, I've ate at Taco Casa, and the only thing good there is the sweet tea. Oh no, that hurts my soul. Man, they're hard shell tacos or soft shell tacos, all of their bowls and stuff that they have. I love Taco Casa. That one, you're not going to convince me otherwise on that. I'm sorry that you had a bad experience there, but I have never been there and had bad food. The food's always been great. James Price says, this is a great video. I travel from Tennessee to Savannah, Georgia every week for work. Much appreciated. Thank you. James, I hope there's something on this list that you're able to add to your vehicle that will help you keep out of trouble, or if you do get into trouble on the side of the road, that you've got the things in your vehicle to be able to help you out. And like I talked about before, I've got all of these items are listed on my Amazon store in the description below. So I went through and really kind of scoured Amazon for the best prices on all of this stuff and added those items into my Amazon store to help you guys out as well. So you don't have to go in and search as hard to try and find some of this stuff. And if you want, I can also put a list of all of the items that I have that I recommend you keep in your vehicle in the description as well. Once the video gets posted and goes live, I'll put all of these items in the description, so you'll have a list as well. The Amazon store, I've been really happy with that. It gives me an opportunity to be able to share a lot of products with you guys. That it makes it easy for you to find. It makes it easier for you to see and search for. And then it also gives you some ideas about maybe some things that you haven't thought about. And I've got a pretty diverse Amazon store that covers a lot of different topics and a lot of different things, from your backpacks to prepping, reloading. There's some firearm stuff in there. But, all of the products that I have listed in there are stuff that I use or stuff that I have used and recommend. So know that when you go in there and look at something, that it's a product that I have experience with and it's a product that I recommend. So otherwise it wouldn't be on that list. All right, guys, that's we're going to wrap up a little bit early today. It's not a ton of comments in here. Everybody's kind of slowing down, but I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I hope that this episode really helps you guys out with your vehicle preps and helping you stay alive while you're in your vehicle. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back live again next Monday from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And next week, we're going to be back to Ask a Gunsmith. So I'll go ahead and get the video link pushed up for that in the next little bit. And that way you guys can go ahead and start plugging your questions in with anything that you have with gunsmith related ideas or questions or topics or things you want to talk about next week. But hey, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate the super chats, guys. And y'all have a great week. I'll see you next Monday.